Welcome back to the 7-part series, The 7 Deadly Sins That Will Destroy Your Financial Future Forever. All right, this is part 6, but I would highly encourage you, if you haven't already done so, to start from the beginning with part 1. It'll set this stage up and others properly as these 7 deadly sins build on each other over time. I'm John MacGregor, your host of Wired for Wealth, guiding you to achieve lasting financial freedom and peace of mind. I want to be your antidote to your financial struggles. My goal is to help you think better so you can do better, so you can feel better about your financial situation. Okay, quick announcement. For those of you who are dealing with the stress and the overwhelming feeling of credit card debt to the point where you dread that credit card bill in the mail, or perhaps you're wondering how you will ever pay off your debt to begin with, due to non-stop barrage of people asking me for this, I finally put together a white paper titled The 5 Surefire Ways to Get Out of Debt in 2022. This is a very powerful and free download showing you the mistakes you're likely making while trying to get out of debt, while guiding you with five simple yet very effective steps you can start immediately to relieve a lot of that pressure you're dealing with. The feedback on this has been absolutely tremendous, so I would encourage you to click the link and get that download now. I will tell you, there is nothing like having a surefire game plan to get you moving in the right way. All right, you ready? Let's get into this. This is deadly sin or deadly mistake number 6, and this is about greed, and it is a deadly one. In my 27 years, this deadly sin has the power to wipe you out financially. Look, the size and cost of housing around the world has simply exploded over the past 30 years. And when I say exploded, I mean beyond belief. When I was in college, I couldn't believe some of the 5 and 6 bedroom houses people were buying, and they were paying, $350,000 to $400,000 for these behemoths. And I worked on a lot of these houses as a landscaper during college. Many of these people didn't even have children. It was just 1 or maybe 2 homeowners. This is a form of greed, wanting something more than you actually need, and certainly more than you can afford. It's one of the devastating factors that led to the housing crisis in 2008 and the subsequent Great Recession that we all felt around the world. Look, while some claim we're long out of the recession, I would strongly argue otherwise. Just look what's going on today. When the federal government, through a private bank called the Federal Reserve, prints $80 billion a month to hold up the economy, and Wall Street directly benefits from that infusion of money, that's not really a recovery. It's just a mask. In fact, it's a facade. Like I said, eventually the bubble bursts and that facade has to come off. And eventually the bill for all that spending and printing monopoly money will come due, and it will not be pretty for anyone. I know, that's someone else's problem, you may be thinking, right? I hear that all the time. So often I talk about this massive problem that will impact all of us, and most people just simply roll their eyes. Believe me, this is no longer something you should be rolling your eyes about anymore. So I don't mean to digress on that, but I think it's important that I stress how important this tidal wave, this tsunami is, and what it's going to do to your life. So anyway, let's get back to our subject at hand, and let's focus on the size of the house people buy these days. This is greed. This is mistake, sin, whatever you want to call it, number 6. Yes, many people buy reasonably sized houses, but when lenders are throwing loans at people so they can buy houses that are more than they need and more than they can afford, what happens, right? You know what happens. That drives the price of houses up. And we've just seen this in the middle of a pandemic. People were offering 15 and 20, even 50,000 more over the asking price for a house, simply because supply was down and demand was way up. In the fall of 2007, gas prices spiked due to a shortage. Suddenly, people were paying $3.80 to $5 per gallon of gas during the winter. Not a big deal, right? But what about home heating costs? When gas prices spike, so do they. Suddenly, homeowners in the northern states were paying not $700 a month to heat their homes, but now they're paying upwards of $2,000 a month just to heat their homes. Do you see the trickle-down effect in all of this? I mean, who can afford all of that on top of all your other bills? When you realize that 8 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck. Let me repeat that. 8 out of 10 people, this is working adults, are living paycheck to paycheck. And 64% of people could not come up with $400 for an emergency expense. You can start to see the bigger picture here. And by the way, those statistics were in 2020 before COVID hit. So you can imagine how those numbers have even grown since then. This is the perfect storm, folks. And I just so commend you for watching these videos to prepare yourself for what's coming down the pike. During these rough times, people can only afford to either heat their homes or pay their mortgage. In most cases, it's an either-or situation. And in 2008, during the spring and summer, the damage was done and foreclosures were picking up at breakneck speed. Perhaps you remember this. Housing prices crashed and people scrambled to find places to live. Think it won't happen again? Well, they said it wouldn't happen the first time. Remember that? Just a couple of months before the housing crash, I was at an event in Puerto Rico where the great Fed chairman, the great and powerful Alan Greenspan, stated quite clearly that with everything he reviewed, there was nothing to be concerned about. Nothing. He was not concerned about the housing market, and he did not foresee a housing crash. This is the Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, who to many walked on water, and he completely missed one of the greatest crashes the world has ever seen. He said the housing market was solid. We couldn't believe in the audience what he was saying. Look, if your financial future, a healthy financial future, is a priority to you and your family, buy the house you need, not the dream home you really can't afford. I don't care what your realtor tells you or your mortgage broker says either. Remember, those people are trying to get you to buy the most expensive house and take out the largest loan. Why? Because those people are financially incentivized to do so. And look, don't be worried about what other people think about you based on the size or the value or location of your home. If someone is going to judge you based on those things, you do not need them in your life. And you certainly don't need their shallow opinion of you, right? Avoid the trappings of greed when it comes to buying a home. Stick to a budget and something you can honestly and readily afford. I'll wrap up there. I really hope this is making you think. And if you have friends or family who are in this situation, pay it forward and send this to them. It could do them a lot of good. Look, we're all in this together, right? Lastly, I want to say, if you are sick and tired of feeling financially drained, like there is no way out, and you feel very concerned about your financial future, especially with what's going on today in the world, and you wish there was a way out, I would highly encourage you to check out my new program called ThrivePath. ThrivePath is a game changer for those looking to find once and for all financial peace and confidence. This program is unlike any other because it gets to the core of why you're struggling financially and maps out a specific process to get you to where you want and deserve to be. You can read all about it on my website. It will change your life for good. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button because you do not want to miss this final deadly financial mistake that so many people make. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you're thinking, and any other mistakes that I may have missed. Really helps the audience because, like I said, we're all in this together. Until next time, we'll see you. Take care. Upward and onward. Bye-bye.